Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start with a question. Have you ever wished that you had more control over your emotions, over the way you react to life's ups and downs? Have you ever felt that if you could just master your own mind, then everything else in life would fall into place? If so, you're not alone. It's a common wish, a common search, a common yearning. But what if I told you that the answer to gaining that control, that mastery, lies in an ancient philosophy? Yes, my friends, that philosophy is Stoicism. It's a school of thought that dates back to the 3rd century BC, yet its teachings are as relevant and applicable today as they were back then. Stoicism, at its core, is about understanding and practicing principles of self-control and fortitude. It's about learning to navigate through the turbulent seas of destructive emotions, not by avoiding them, but by standing strong against them. Imagine a tree in the midst of a storm. While the wind howls and the branches shake, the tree stands firm. It sways, yes, but it does not break. That tree is the Stoic person, unyielding in the face of emotional turmoil. Understanding Stoicism is the first step, but practicing it is where the real journey begins. It's like understanding the theory of how to swim. You can read about it, learn the techniques, observe others swimming. But until you jump into the water, until you practice, you're not really swimming. And so it is with Stoicism. Understanding is vital, but practice is paramount. Practice might seem daunting, yes, but remember, every step you take, no matter how small, is a step forward. Now let's talk about one of the core principles of Stoicism, focusing on what's in your power. Life is a complex web of variables, some within our control and some beyond it. Often we tend to fixate on the latter, don't we? We stress over the traffic on the way to work. We worry about what others think of us. We agonize over the weather for our weekend plans. But think about it. Do we really have control over these things? What if we shifted our focus to what we can control? Our actions, our efforts, our responses to life's various situations. Stoicism encourages us to do just that. It tells us to divert our energy to the things we can change, to the areas where we can make a difference. It's like being the captain of a ship. You cannot control the wind or the waves, but you can control how you steer the ship. This brings us to the next principle, acceptance of life's trials. Stoicism doesn't promise a life free of problems. It doesn't prophesize a world where everything goes our way. What it does teach us is to accept life's ups and downs with equanimity. It encourages us to adapt, to change our sails when the wind changes. It's about understanding that storms are a part of life, and instead of fearing them, we learn to dance in the rain. But how do we do this? How do we focus on what's in our control and accept the trials of life? The answer, my friends, lies in practicing mindfulness and presence. This isn't about sitting on a mat and chanting. It's about being fully present in each moment, about being acutely aware of your thoughts and actions. It's about listening when someone talks to you, not just hearing. It's about savoring the food you eat, not just eating. It's about living each moment fully, not just passing through it. How many times have we driven home from work with our minds elsewhere, only to realize that we don't remember the drive at all? That, my friends, is a moment lost. Stoicism teaches us to reclaim these lost moments, to be fully present in the here and now. It's when you're mindful, when you're truly present, that you can navigate life with a positive outlook. As we move through the journey of applying Stoicism to our lives, it's inevitable that we'll encounter challenges, adversities, but the beauty of Stoicism lies in teaching us to embrace these adversities. It tells us that these challenges are not obstacles, they're opportunities for growth, for self-improvement. To illustrate, let me tell you a short anecdote about Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors of all time. When asked about his numerous failed attempts to invent the light bulb, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That is the essence of embracing adversity. It's not about the number of times you fall, it's about the number of times you rise. To conclude this part of our discussion, I want to leave you with a thought. Imagine living a life where you're in control of your emotions, where you can navigate through life's ups and downs with a calm mind, where you're present in every moment, where you see challenges as opportunities and not obstacles. Imagine how much more fulfilling, how much more enriching that life would be. That's the life that Stoicism can help us lead. That's the life that's within our reach if we embrace and practice the principles of Stoicism. So let's take that leap. Let's dare to dive deep into the waters of Stoicism and swim towards a better, more positive life. Every journey begins with a single step. For us, that step is inward, towards understanding ourselves, towards embracing the principles of Stoicism. And as we walk this path, we learn to shift our focus from the external validation we often seek to our inner development and personal values. Let me ask you this. How often do you find yourself looking for approval, for validation from others? How often do you find your happiness tied to the opinions of others? It's a common human behavior, but the philosophy of Stoicism offers us a different perspective. Stoicism encourages us to pursue personal growth over external validation. It reminds us that our worth is not determined by the compliments we receive, the likes we get on our social media posts, or the applause we hear. Our worth lies in our personal values, in our character, in our actions. It lies in the courage to stand up for what we believe in the kindness we show to others, in the honesty with which we live our lives. Stoicism tells us that the applause will fade, the likes will diminish, the compliments may turn into criticism, but our values, our character, our actions, they define us, they shape us, they remain with us. Therefore, our focus should be on nurturing them, on growing them. Speaking of growth, it doesn't just happen. It requires discipline, commitment, resilience. It requires us to stay true to our path, to our principles, even when it's challenging. And this is where the Stoic principle of self-discipline comes in. Developing self-discipline is like cultivating a muscle. It's tough, it's grueling, it's uncomfortable, but the more we work on it, the stronger it becomes. Self-discipline is about making commitments and sticking to them. It's about setting goals and pursuing them relentlessly. It's about resisting the temptation of taking the easy way out. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when we don't feel like doing it. Imagine a runner training for a marathon. There will be days when they'll wake up to the sound of their alarm at 5 a.m., look outside to see it's still dark, and feel the urge to stay in bed. But they get up, they lace up their shoes, and they hit the road. That's self-discipline. It's not about being in the mood, it's about being committed. It's not about instant gratification, it's about long-term achievements. As we develop self-discipline, as we continue our journey of personal growth, it's important to pause, to look around, to appreciate. And this is where the final principle of our discussion today comes in. Cultivating gratitude. Gratitude, my friends, is a powerful tool. It's like a beacon in the darkness, a source of positivity in times of adversity. It's about finding the silver lining in every cloud, the light at the end of every tunnel. Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge and appreciate the good things in life, no matter how small or insignificant they may seem. Gratitude is about recognizing the love of our family and friends, the warmth of the sun on a cold day, the taste of our favorite food, the sound of our favorite song, the smell of fresh coffee in the morning. It's about celebrating the simple joys, the everyday blessings. Now, cultivating gratitude doesn't mean that we ignore the challenges or downplay the adversities. It means that we acknowledge them, we deal with them, but we don't let them cloud our vision of the good. In a world where we're constantly striving for more, where we're often focused on what we don't have, gratitude helps us focus on what we do have. It's a reminder that even in the midst of adversity, there are things to be thankful for. Let me leave you with a thought to ponder. Imagine a life where you're driven by your personal values, not by the opinions of others, where you have the discipline to follow your path, to pursue your goals, where you have the ability to appreciate the blessings in your life. That's the life that Stoicism can lead us to. That's the life that's within our reach if we continue to embrace and practice the principles of Stoicism. As we continue this journey, remember, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's about the lessons we learn, the growth we experience, the person we become. So let's continue this journey with courage, with commitment, with gratitude, and let's see where it leads us. As we embark further into our exploration of Stoicism and its principles, we are reminded that life is inherently filled with ups and downs, trials and tribulations. Even the calmest of seas have their waves, and the sunniest of days have their clouds. It is within the acceptance and adaptation to these circumstances that we find our true strength. Stoicism teaches us that life will always have its challenges, its adversities. We cannot stop them from happening, but we do have control over how we respond to them. We can let these adversities overwhelm us, or we can use them as stepping stones to grow, to learn, to become better versions of ourselves. Consider this, a piece of coal and a diamond. They are essentially the same, but it's the heat, the pressure that transforms the coal into a diamond. Similarly, it's the adversity, the challenges that can transform us. So let's not be afraid of adversity. Let's embrace it, let's learn from it, let's grow through it. And speaking of growth, it's not a destination, it's a journey. It's an ongoing process that requires us to be completely present, to be mindful. Being mindful and present means being fully engaged in the here and now, not dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Think about it. How often do we find ourselves lost in the memories of the past or in the anticipation of the future that we miss out on the present moment, the only moment that truly exists? Practicing mindfulness is about bringing our attention back to the present, to our thoughts, to our actions. Mindfulness helps us realize that our thoughts are just thoughts, not reality. They come and they go like the waves in the ocean, but we don't need to ride every wave. We can observe them, acknowledge them, and let them go. This awareness, this understanding can free us from the shackles of negative thoughts and lead us towards a more positive outlook on life. As we go through this journey of self-awareness, control over emotions and personal growth, we might find ourselves in situations that feel beyond our control. It's in these situations that the Stoic principle of focusing on what's in our control comes into play. Stoicism teaches us to discern between what we can and can't control in life. It reminds us that while we may not have control over the events happening around us, we do have control over our reactions to them. And it's in this control that we find our power, our freedom. We can't control the weather, but we can control whether we carry an umbrella. We can't control the traffic, but we can control when we leave for work. We can't control the actions of others, but we can control our responses to them. So let's focus our energy, our efforts on what's in our control and let go of what's not. In conclusion, Stoicism isn't just a school of thought, it's a way of life. It's about developing self-control, practicing mindfulness, focusing on personal growth, embracing adversity, and cultivating gratitude. It's about realizing that while we may not have control over everything around us, we do have control over ourselves, our thoughts, our actions. With these principles of Stoicism, we can navigate the waves of life with calmness, with resilience, with positivity. We can turn each challenge into an opportunity for growth, each adversity into a stepping stone towards becoming the best version of ourselves. Thank you for joining me on this journey of exploring Stoicism and its principles. I hope that this discussion has not only enlightened you, but also inspired you to embrace these principles in your life. Remember, the key to a positive year, a positive life, lies within you. If you found this video helpful, please like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful and inspiring content. Let's continue this journey of learning, growing, and becoming together. And remember, it's not about where you are, but who you are and who you're becoming. Keep growing, keep exploring, and keep being you.